word, right?
Yeah, almost, yes. That is true to his name, right? They really almost lost it. They had Explorer knocking onto their front doors, in fact, breaking their two front doors, leaving only one completely intact. This game is pretty reliable on how Explorer decides to control in the early stages of the game by putting pebbles in the middle, Dora heading into the opponent's jungle and trying to deny this away, but that is very unlikely due to the retribution. So Suna brought down the red buff pretty efficiently and pretty fast as well. Monchichi doing the same thing, but a little bit of a control that Notorious Villian is trying to bring around the board by harassing this Claude away from his own jungle.
Indeed, Dora went in, tried to just kind of stall Suna from being able to farm, and same goes to the side of Notorious Villains, as Kolya also tried to attempt to disturb Monchichi from being able to farm.
Looking at how this game plays out, looking at how a 5 versus 5 match will play out, I can't think of a reliable scenario whereby both sides would would have a very steady win, right? It's very equal.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good attempt onto the side of Explorer. Dora actually popped his flicker. And then for the side of Notorious Villains, Embassy actually used a Purify but did not manage to get out. But opportunity in the top lane for Notorious Villains. They want to gang onto the Bento, and yes, it's going to be a tick for tack. You take my bottom lane, I take your top lane as the fight goes on.
An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, and maybe an evil for an evil over here. Because Notorious Villains, well, they are the villains after all. We'll see who is going to be the one that will take out another member of Notorious Villains, or maybe the other way around. Dara with 2 double knockup punches right on top of Dora, not enough to completely wipe him out from the Land of Dawn for now. But Notorious Villains successfully takes down the turtle, yet another objective, and they have been rather consistent in securing the first turtle so far in game number 1 as well as game number 2, which reflects pretty darn well with their average turtles per minute, which is average turtles per game, which is 1.8.
With the turtle being taken by Notorious Villains, they are overall leading in terms of by just a bit, 300 gold lead. There's still, something that Explorer I feel will be able to pick up. But hold on, a thought. We come into the bottom lane itself as Fenrir being caught up. A good initiation coming in from Explorer with a double kill from Dora onto the side of the Jawhead, but finally a shutdown going in. But I think that is a good attempt coming in from Explorer.
Yeah, that was kind of a scuffed fight from the side of Notorious Villains, losing out Fenrir as well as Kolya. I'm not too sure why Fenrir is the one that showed his face first when he's supposed to be the one that is, well, kind of the backlines. Well, Dara, he got an inch away from getting a kill on the Bendo. That would have been great for the side of Notorious Villains, but alas, that did not happen at all. Just take a look at a small little replay over there. Fenrir. Oh, okay, that makes sense now. Thanks to this replay, we got a really good understanding because I think it was Ryby, or was it Dora, was just hiding inside of the brush, and Fenrir really thought that he could come in from behind and do a cheeky play against the Jawhead. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. He underestimated his opponents, and he walked into the turrets of Explorer thinking like he got it, but it's too early for you, buddy. Not yet. As for the side of Dara from the top lane, managed to rotate down to the bottom lane itself.
There we go. One more hit coming from Dara. That is going to ensure them to get out the 2 knockout punches, and Dora will then be completely incapacitated. Monchichi coming up next now, but he, with a flicker, gets himself right out of the equation and ensure that, not flicker, but getting himself a switcheroo with Dexter. Gets him in a nice, healthy spot before putting a large number 1 to his death.
Indeed, and for the side of Explorer, right now it seems that they're losing in terms of the top turret itself, and they're going to forgo this turtle again, giving it to Notorious Villains. Wow, I'm surprised that they gave the turtle so easily, but of course, playing the macro map, they decided to gang down in the top lane itself with the members of Explorer catching out, capitalizing on it. Can they get onto Embassy?
Oh.
Yes, they can, but they have to escape as Dara comes in with the knockout punch instead. A very good flicker coming in. Rhea.
Nice! Completely outplayed Dara, making him waste out the knockout punch, and that way, Ryby manages to escape safely. From the way the Explorer is playing, it does seem like the late game potential from Explorer may be pretty darn good. You know, just from a single Alice, he should be able to shut down Suna as well as Fenrir, while the other members such as Bento or perhaps even Dora takes and boost down that is playing onto the Harriet.
Dora getting caught in position will be punished. And Monchichi, you know, he's trying to take his time to farm. In fact, his blue is actually being stolen onto the side. No! No!
Kolya, no! That is definitely not the way you want to go down.
Oh well, I mean, he almost got on Monchichi. Had Monchichi not had the blazing duet, he will actually die to Popo and Koopa, which is actually a tank. How crazy is that?
That is definitely something that I can imagine. With Ares playing as Angela killing Claude like multiple times in the early stages of the game, something that has happened yesterday. We played some good games. The Claude literally could not do anything. Can you imagine an Angela coming right into your face, killing you 3 times in 1v1?
I'm speechless, but I'm mindful because Ares is staring at us. So let's go back to the game.
And there we go. Notorious Villains is just going to be wrecking havoc until the point of time when Monchichi blazes through with the blazing duet, getting a kill down on the Suna. It does seem like it is not going to be that big of a deal when it comes to dealing in the front lines because of how much of a damage the blazing duet is able to offer. And just like that, Notorious Villains managed to secure a kill on the Dora to try to go for a equilibrium, try to bring things into a stalemate for a 2-4-2 trade-off. As Bento, yikes, trying to out-juke that Phantom airstrike. Ryby is the next one to instantaneously go down, didn't even have a chance to pop the Blood Ode. And Notorious Villains back on track with a total of 2,000 gold advantage.
Yeah, back on track, Monchichi, you have to be careful here as Kolya goes in again with the dog bite itself, blazing duet being popped, but this time round, you will not be able to survive. But the team come back out, coming in from Explorer though.
Oh, great toss coming in from Dora. Ensure the Pepper gets away. And even the power of the Auto Brilliance gets him running under the turret's nose. But unfortunately, the man that we're going to be talking about is Dara playing onto Paquitos. No way you're getting out of Paquitos' nose if you two are of the same movement speed.
Yep.
And, well, what can I say? Explorer, they're playing pretty well this game.
I mean that fight itself, right, they hesitated, you know, they wanted to go in for the backup for Monchichi and then the support and the tank hesitated and they got punished both by the side of Notorious Villains.
Yeah, I mean, this is not the early game that I was expecting from Notorious Villains because the best they can think of is to ensure that Notorious Villains really snowballs in the early stages of the game. But unfortunately, it is not very convincing win. It's not that big of a convincing win, right? Even to the point that Ryby can jump onto Tsuna and just punish him for his greediness to take Ryby down under the turret's nose.
Yeah, I mean, it was a kind of an outplay coming in from the Alice itself, punishing the Bruno for, you know, standing under the turret and the Blood Ode itself. I think the Alice is, you know, coming back in. She already has the book and also the Lollipop itself. I think also the Winter Truncheon. So she's going to scale slowly but surely into the mid game.
Monchichi has already picked up himself with Tough Boots, the DHS, as well as the Raptor Machete. The next one that has got to be in line is going to be the Golden Staff. And once Monchichi gets that up, that is going to be a major power spike in favor of Explorer. And the best thing that he can do right now is ensure that Monchichi gets the farm that he needs, pop out that Golden Staff, and then relocate themselves to kind of understand where Monchichi lies in terms of damage. While Dara, Dara goes down to the hands of Dora. And Ryby all the way down to the bottom lane, almost heading down too.
Well, the good thing is that they finally shut down onto Dora and onto that Paquito, and also allowed Monchichi to be able to split farm for now, but also at what cost though? Because I feel like Explorer, they gave too much lead to Notorious Villains often in the early games. And this allowed, you can see that Notorious Villains are starting out on the lore.
It shouldn't be too big of a problem. But Explorer, they would want to challenge this as much as possible, but they do have a general idea that Notorious Villains is definitely going to try to go for the lore because they are a very objective-based player. They're a very objective-based team. And whenever the Lord is available, they will just head out. And you see, the way that Dora is playing right now is just opening the map, opening every single brushes to ensure that there is no Popo's trap anywhere around the field that will stall the timing. Because the timing is pretty darn important if they want to set up for a steal.
Yeah, but Dora, he actually has the flicker, so he can potentially go in for the flicker toss. I mean, if he catches on to the right members, it will be good. And he managed to catch on to Kolya, but his team is too far away. Monchichi going into the backline itself. Can he catch on to Dara? Dara left with a slither of hell.
The Notorious Villains, they are definitely having their back against the wall. And Boost currently with less than 50% HP. He doesn't even have the Zaman Force, but Ryby completely taken down now that he pops up the Zaman Force. The power of the Order Brilliance gets himself away from the entire lineup from Notorious Villains. Explorer, well, they lost a significant amount of players. 2 players, as a matter of fact, Ryby being one of the most important players as part of their front lines. Notorious Villains, they won in that fight. They lost Fenrir, yes, but they still got Suna as well as Boost around the vicinity, and they can still hold down the fort right down through and through the middle lines.
Yeah, but I feel that the fight itself, the Notorious Villains were brought down so much of their health that just a bit more damage will kill them, but I think slowly or surely Explorer is building up on the damage itself.
This is an earthquake that you can see. The Lord trembles and Fenrir roars with all of his might by activating the Feathered Airstrike. And this is the point of time where Bento is just going to be completely lashed out as Korda gets himself 1, gets himself 2, Fenrir with another 1 to his name. And that is going to be 3 members coming from Explorer. This is going to be completely taken down, maybe a 4 as Ryby gets himself away in just a nick of time with also a sliver of health. Monchichi though, he is not going to give up just yet. He's still hovering around the place. He is in a very dangerous territory right in front of Dara, but he got himself away. He realizes that he really shouldn't challenge this Lord by any means necessary.
Yeah, he lost 2 of his players, and that is a cue for him not to go in. You know, he's after all a clot. Going in at this time round will be detrimental, and all he can do is to go back, wait for his teammates to respawn as the Lord itself is going to be crashing down onto the bottom lane.
And how is it supposed to be now? Notorious Villains 18 kills while Explorer 11 kills with a deficit of 6,000. The Feathered Airstrike was not fast enough to steal the buff right off of Explorer's palms, and now a tri-lane push is imminent. With middle lane taken down, top lane's taken down, and the Lord is trampling down in the bottom lane. How is this gonna be like Ryby completely jumping down from the southern side, almost getting a kill on the Fenrir. The Blood Oath pops, he gets himself right in, but unfortunately completely taken down as Explorer were not able to come in and provide the backup that they absolutely needed. Monchichi, he's finding the right time. I don't think he has the stacks. Even if he goes right into the Blazing Duet, there's really nothing much that he could do, and thus the Lord tramples, the Lord swings his axes, and Dora is just buying as much time as possible. The Zaman Force is going to be dropped right down, but unfortunately that will be the kill right on top of the head and Boost as Dora completely taken down, and this is going to be a 5v3 as Fenrir slowly makes his way right back to regroup with his fellow friends.
I mean, Rhea though, it's a good attempt from you as he built up onto his Holy Crystal itself, but just not enough backup coming in from your team to finish the death blow as Explorer left with to defend a better airstrike coming in to the members of Explorer. Wow, the damage though from the far side itself.
Just like that, it is going to be one single turret that will stand up tall in the top lane. Up north is where things will go south. Notorious Villains just slowly heading their way all around the map, generating all the revenue that they can, controlling the map, suffocating the Explorers from being able to find anything that could benefit them in any way possible.
Indeed, I mean, unless Notorious Villains able to pull the biggest outplay they have in the game itself, better S right going in. Look at Lunox itself going in, but the damage.
He is as a sliver of health. He went in the front. Oh, he jumped right back into the blazing to it. But unfortunately, the damage is not enough. And Suna breaks him down. 4-man, 5-man, all of them is going to die except for Pando. What can this Lapu do when the Zaman force is summoned right in front of him with all the ballistas hammering down to the core, with left with 1% of her health? And Explorer watched it as all of their MPL journey going away, slipping through their